Hello, this is Daryl at 10 Foot Truck Good Attitude Services. Today is September 6th, Friday. It's coming up on the weekend. It's pretty hot outside. It's like in the 90s, so it's still got the summer weather in September. I think it's going to be in the mid 90s, I think, this weekend. I'm going to be doing a moving job for a repeat customer. It should be the final move. I think they're finally getting all their stuff. They're having stuff taken over from their other area from storage, and then we're going to combine all that and move it into their final apartment. I've been helping her organize and move things for quite some time now, last couple of weeks at least, and unpacking and stuff like that. So, and then now, and also have another repeat customer that I've been doing a project for. They'll be going back on Tuesday. They're remodeling their house, and so they need more. Be picking up some furniture and doing some yard cleanup and then junk removal. So I haven't done a junk removal in a while, so that'll be great because I've had calls for junk removal in the last 2 weeks, but we never agreed upon a date. They never confirmed for the job, so they were probably price hunting and they didn't like the price, whatever it was. And then I've had a lot of calls for pickup and delivery of furniture that's purchased on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, used furniture. So I did one just a couple days ago, and that was through a referral, and I did a couch pickup and delivery. That went great. Hopefully that can be working to a referral on that too. We'll see. But and then I've had a lot of calls for moving, but I'll be booked up. It's going to be full days of moving this weekend, so I won't have time to do anything other than that moving until next week. And then after that job is done, that's going to be another all-day job. Then I'll start working on, I'm putting up ads, working for the following, after midweek to the next weekend. And so I'm putting up those ads, and been getting calls too. Another reason why I want to do this video is, and I'm sure I've talked about this many times in my other videos about repeat customers and referrals. Now, this is what I would do. I wanted to show an example of how long repeat customers can, how far back, if you have the same phone number. Now, I've kept my same phone number, I think, for the last 15 years. I have a new number now for this area, but my old phone, I kept the number. And so I still get phone calls from my other service area, which is in the other metro areas that I moved out of. I've moved here to the Spokane area. I've been here for the last, coming up on 5 years. I think it'll be 5 years in November. And so before that, I was in the Seattle area, and then before that, I was in the Portland area. But I would bounce back and forth between Seattle and Portland, and those areas about 300 miles away west of where I live now. But I still get phone calls from that area, and surprisingly, some of the customers, like the last customer that just contacted me yesterday or a couple days ago, I had helped him like 6 years ago, and I had, that was it. I helped him move something 6 years ago. And they said, you did a really awesome job, and we kept your number, and now we got more stuff to move. So in that case, sometimes it'll be like 6, 7, 8 years down the road, you may have a customer that's held on to your number. And I also had a customer a while back ago that had held on to one of my old flyers. And this flyer is from like 2009, so that was interesting. That was before I moved out here, 5 years ago, when I was in the process of moving back and forth. I had getting stuff out of storage or things out of the old house, and then getting it together so where I could bring it over here. In that process, I had to go back to my old metro area, and I was down there for a couple days. And before that, a guy had contacted me, and I hadn't heard from that guy probably, like I said, since 2009 or 8 maybe. And that was in 2018. No, 2019. It was 2019. So it had been like almost 10 years, and the guy had held on to this flyer. This is an old flyer. I don't even do flyers like this anymore. And it was for my moving services, where I was just doing moving labor. I had a couple guys that helped me out, and we would do moving labor, loading, U-Hauls, unloading U-Hauls. I didn't have a truck at the time, so I had the dollies and all the equipment, and I would just unload and load U-Hauls and pods and anything like that, ABF trailers, U-Pack trailers, or whatever you call them. We would do that kind of service. It was just labor, and so I had these flyers for that. I would drop these off I would drop these flyers off at storage facilities, and I would hand them out. So that was like, yeah. So I went in anyway. I had time to go help the guy out. He had emailed me that he had needed help for his final move going into his house, and like I said, it was like 8 years later. So, and this last customer, they had helped him 6 years ago. So you never know. So the customers, if you did a really good job and they were impressed by your service, your customer service, they will hold on to your number for years to come, and maybe use you years and years later. So in fact, I worked with a guy who he had a moving company, and he had a 30-foot truck. He was just helping his friends out because he had actually closed the moving company quite a few years before that. Like, I think I helped him, I was helping his friend, and he brought the truck over. And he was trying to sell me that. He wanted to sell me the truck because his business was already had been closed, and he had been using the truck to move his friends, just help him out. He said the same thing. He said that he had to finally change his phone number because he had to close that number because he was still getting calls years and years and years later from repeat customers and from old customers in the past who were contacting him for moving, and that company had been closed for at least 10 years or more, and he was still getting calls. So that's a great thing about these services, even with junk removal, moving, delivery, pickup, delivery, furniture delivery, hauling. You will get, if you're doing the business right, and you're doing a good job, they will refer you and they will call you back, and it could be years later. So you never know. Sometimes I don't hear from customers, and it could be 5 years later. But the more you do that over time, it just builds on itself. And like I said, I get calls all the time, emails for jobs I just can't do anymore because I can't drive 300 miles over to do a job. It's not worth it, my time. I try to refer them to friends and people that I know, but a lot of times they're busy. So that's the way it goes. But at least I answer the phone, I talk to them, because you never know. They may have people over in this side of town that moved over here that need help. So I still have that phone number. So it could work out into a job even over here. But that was just kind of what I want to talk about, is if you do a great job and the customer service is good, you will get calls, and just build on those. And over time, you'll have to do less and less advertising. You'll have to spend less and less money on advertising. Although it's good to always advertise, but you'll get to the point where you're going to be so busy all the time that you won't need to be doing consistent always advertising and paying for that. It saves you money. So that was just an example that happened to me just recently. Anyway, so I'll be busy this week, and I'm already booked up next week. So it looks like it's still good for business through September and in October, and everything's great. So I hope you're all having a great weekend and enjoying this great fall weather we're having. Well, it's more like summer weather out here. Maybe in your area it's better, but it's supposed to cool off next week. I'm looking forward to that, when it cools off and goes back down in the 70s. I like that kind of weather. Anyway, this is Daryl at 10 Foot Truck Good Attitude Services, and have a great week.